The Monday Nighter in Pittsburgh is a good old-fashioned lunch bucket hard hat affair. It's between the first-place Ravens, they're 2-0, and the Steelers. They sit at 2-1. Pittsburgh will be missing a major piece to their machine, though, as the second leading rusher in the AFC, Willie Parker, is out tonight. So they turn to rookie running back Rashard Mendenhall against the NFL's top-rated defense. And Mendenhall immediately made himself a target when earlier this week he sent a text message to the Ravens rookie running back Ray Rice telling him he's going to have a big performance on Monday night against the Ravens. Interesting decision considering the Ravens haven't allowed a 100-yard rusher in 21 straight games. That, by the way, the longest active streak in the NFL. And for more now on the AFC North Clash, we welcome in our dynamic NFL duo, Jamal Anderson and former Steeler himself, Cordell Stewart. And Jamal, I want to start with you because I know the technology has evolved a lot since you've been out. But how common is trash texting amongst players in the NFL?
Wait a minute, Jay. I haven't been out that long. I don't like how you started that.
If you look at the snapshot of technology today, it is considerably advanced from where it was when you left the game.
Big time.
I'm just saying.
When you left the game.
All right.
Did you trash text?
Everybody does. Everyone went to
does.
college. There's so many guys, obviously at the powerhouse University of Utah, where I attended. I'm just playing. A lot of people do. You got the Florida States, you got the Colorados, you got Miamis, all of these teams that put dozens of guys in the NFL every year. You're all still friends. So you text message and talk back and forth when you're gonna be playing somebody. Listen, I'm a Ray Rice fan, but what Ray Rice did to Mendenhall was nothing short of corny.
Well, yeah, and I'm glad you got to that because in fairness to Mendenhall, he denies it. He says no text was made.
The reality is, Jay, this should never get viral or be in this situation unless he was out talking to a reporter, unless he said something on the internet. You put something out like that, then, of course, this is something that should be bulletin board material. But in this situation, personally talking to a friend and then the friend telling everybody on defense, come on, Cordell, you know everybody goes
I don't buy that bulletin board stuff. I mean, you have to remember the Baltimore Ravens and Pittsburgh Steelers game.
Yeah, you don't need it.
You don't need it. I mean, if you need to get bulletin board material to figure out how you're going to play this game, you don't need to play because you're going to be emotionally drained and you won't be able to play any more games after that.
Ray Lewis is mad at him to begin with. It doesn't matter. He's wearing the other team's helmet.
Period.
He's mad at you. What can we expect from the rookie? Because it's a very tall order.
I tell you what, and last night Ray was on Sunday Conversation, and the one thing he said that the Ravens defense pride themselves on more than anything else is stopping running backs. Listen to me, Mendenhall. Run straight, run hard, run focused, and all you need to do to have that successful game is survive. Because you're not going to get 100 yards, especially with all this stuff going on right now. And if you do, I'll be the first one to send you a nice gift tomorrow morning.
Send him a text.
A box of Advil.
Yeah, send him a text.
A box of Advil.
You know what? I think he started off really, really slow. He had the fumble situation, and Willie Parker bursted onto the scene. Obviously, kind of had his comeback this year with the first couple of games. Now him being hurt, he's certainly going to have to be a factor after what happened with Ben last week and all the sacks against Philadelphia. He's going to have to do something.
Cordell, you mentioned the sacks. 8 sacks, left injured. How does that change the way Roethlisberger prepares for a very physical Ravens defense?
Well, the pass protection is a premium this week. I mean, big time. I mean, the Steelers have given up 17 sacks over the last 3 weeks. Of those 17 sacks, 8 were in the last game against the Philadelphia Eagles. That's unheard of. And now you're going against a third-ranked defense, which is behind the Steelers and the Eagles. You're going to have them come out and pretty much want to do what they do. They've only allowed 70 yards, I think, this season, each game that they've played in, a total of 162 yards per game total as a unit. It's just unheard of, man. I mean, it's going to be a great football game. It's going to be a great slug match. Oof. And, I'm not concerned about the rushing. It's just more protecting number 7 because he's pretty hurt right about now.
Jamal, when you look at the Ravens' backfield, LaRon McClain has emerged. Now, they have a 2-headed deal, too. Along with Willis McGahee. Why are we seeing more of that in the NFL?
You know, most NFL coaches will tell you they love to stockpile quality running backs, not just a great star running back and then some guys who could come in and kind of patch things up. But you look at the situation in Chicago with the 2-headed monster they got there, and then you got the Atlanta Falcons with Norwood and Turner, and you go over to Seattle, they got 3 guys that come in. So more times than not, particularly if you have a mature star starting running back, he understands that you're not going to be there every down for every play and that you need to have quality backups and guys who can come in the game and be just like you are when you're in the game so the offense can have success.
Cordell, how can the Ravens make the playoffs with Joe Flacco seemingly subscribing to the Trent Dilfer theory of offense, and that's just don't lose the game?
I think it can be done. They're not asking to do much. I mean, you got to remember back to 2000 when they had Tony Banks and Trent Dilfer. They pretty much combined 56% of their passing as far as completion is concerned. They threw 20 touchdowns, 19 interceptions. In these last games this year alone, I think against the Cleveland Browns, they had 3 interceptions. I think they threw. One was ran back for a touchdown. I mean, that's just pretty much unheard of. And then going back to last year, I think they had, not last year, but in 2000, they had 9 games where they held them under 10 points, opponents under 10 points, but then they had 4 shutouts. So if they can have that recipe this season, I think it'll be phenomenal for them to do it, because I think in the first 2 games they only scored 10 points in the first 2 games against Cincinnati and Cleveland. So
well, you know what? Help me with that, because they're 2-0, but they've beaten 2 inferior opponents. I think we would agree on that. Are they legitimate?
I mean, I think defensively and the way that they can run the football, just from the things that we just talked about, Jay, they certainly have a shot. This was the blueprint that led the Baltimore Ravens, like Cordell was talking about, to the Super Bowl. Trent Dilfer, listen, you're on the network. We love you, baby.
Big time.
But he was not out there throwing for 300 yards game after game. They played solid, great defense, and they ran the football, and they had success. The only thing that makes me nervous about Flacco, eventually he's going to have to throw the ball. He is a rookie, and they don't have a tremendous package.
We got to go so quickly. Is Monday night and home field enough for the Steelers? Is that a recipe for success tonight?
I think so. Just the experience I've had.
I'm going to go the exact opposite. Baltimore, I'm riding with you, Ray.
All right. Well, that'd be impressive. 3-0 start.
My man.
All 3 wins in the division. Happy birthday a day early, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
Old man.
You don't look 34.
Am I 30? Is that my old?
We'll see you guys tomorrow.
22.
Enjoy the game tonight. By the way, for the record, Mendenhall told ESPN's Monday Night Football crew off camera that text message was, quote, news to me. And he didn't know. Anybody who knows me knows that's not my style. That's his story. Dana?
All right, Jay, it's time now to see who the real experts like. And